What's up guys, it is Chris back with another watch video, and today we're looking at Goodspeed. This is a brand that I have not featured on the channel before, and this is their foray into field watches. So getting right into it, it comes in a very nice leather pouch. It's actually pretty large for one watch. I wouldn't put two watches in here, but you could use this as a sunglass case or a watch case, depending on what you want to do with it. It's real leather, so it's really very nice. And then you get a warranty card. It's signed by the owner right there, Jeremy. They are actually located in Sacramento in California. That's where the headquarters of this brand is. And here is the watch. So this is the green dial variant. And as I mentioned, this is the Scout. This is their field watch, and they made a couple of other watches that are sort of automotive inspired, chronographs and things like that. I think this is like their third watch or somewhere around there, and they're calling this the Go Anywhere and Do Anything watch, and I have to agree with them. So specs on this is 38.5 millimeters, 45 millimeter lug to lug. It wears a little bit bigger than that because of the male end links, but the actual male end links don't make much of a difference because this is a very tight lug to lug, as you can see. So this can be worn on a pretty small wrist if needed. And then of course you have a 10 millimeter thickness. And that's because you get the 9039 in here, the Miyota 9039. I always sing its praises. A very thin watch and 200 meters of water resistance. So you get a screwed in case back, and this says Goodspeed on the back. Very flat case back actually. And they say there's room on here for engraving if you want it, and I guess you could do that. It just says Goodspeed across there. I'll do close-ups of that, of course. Screwed in crown, oyster bracelet. The crown is signed, and it just has a B and like a little globe on it just for their logo. That's that Goodspeed logo right there. At the bottom of the dial it says Scout, and then there is sort of a track, a green area of the dial. So every dial is in silver, and then there is a track that goes around the hours, and that's the color on the dial. So this is green, there's a blue, there's a black, and then I think there is going to be a crimson color, like a deep red color. Buckle is milled. It's very familiar to many of the micro brand buckles that we see. It is signed right there again with that B. It's nice and smooth. Everything is finished very, very nicely. The oyster bracelet is primarily brushed, so there is no polishing on the watch really. The only polishing on the entire watch, I would say, is just that bezel, and it looks like it's all polished, and then you have a little bit of polishing on the actual crown. The crown is nice, big, and grippy. Very similar looking case to an Explorer, Rolex Explorer. Brushed primarily around the brush sides, brush top, so the entire thing is brushed. Looks really good, very clean, very crisp look to this watch. There is lume on the hands and there is lume on the indices, however, not on the actual numerals. I believe there is lume on the outer track of the actual bezel, of the actual minute track. So we'll do a lume shot at the end and check in on that and see how that is. However, they say they are going to be improving the lume, which is always good. This is I think a very good looking watch, and it actually gives me a little bit of a Rolex vibe / Tudor vibe as well. I really like it. The dial is actually very unique. It's the case and bracelet obviously that gives you that sort of Rolex vibe. This dial is pretty unique. I really like it. It's an interesting looking watch for an everyday sort of field watch, and they say it's a go anywhere, do anything watch. And they do on the actual Kickstarter, which by the way is in 11 days. They have on their Kickstarter a bunch of posters. They're really cool, that are like vintage posters that shows a guy going fishing and then wearing the same watch to dinner with his wife at a formal event and things like that, from the boardroom to, you know, to the boat, things like that. So 200 meters water resistance, actually really good on a watch like this. Most field watches don't go up that high. Usually they're 100 or 150. 200 is really good. So you could actually go swimming with this. and have no problems whatsoever, because you do have a screwed-in crown, and then you do have a flat sapphire crystal, which is great as well. Just a really nice little tight package. I like it. I'm going to throw it on my wrist really quickly. I'll show you what I'm wearing. Today I am wearing the Dufresne Waterloo. This is the automatic version. Just a really cool dress watch from another awesome American brand, and this one is located in Texas. I believe this one is also 38 millimeter. So a lot of brands coming out with 39 millimeter watches, 40 millimeter watches. I think that's the new sweet spot. A lot of brands doing that. So I haven't fit this for my wrist, although it almost fits me. There's about 3 or 4 links that I need to remove. I have a 7.5 inch wrist, and you can see on my wrist, this wears really nicely. If you have a small wrist, I think this would wear really nicely on you. And definitely if you have a larger wrist or a medium-sized wrist like I do, very, very comfortable watch. Looks really good. Quickly, let's do a quick Lume shot, and then we'll talk about price as well. Well, there you have it. So, like I said, the hands and indices are lumed. However, the numerals aren't lumed, so you just have little pips of lume at each hour marker, and then of course the hands are lumed. They said they're going to be improving the lume on these watches, which would be good, because it would be nice to have a little bit more lume on this watch, I would say. It is a field watch, so tons of lume is not necessary, but this looks like a real field watch. It gets that field watch feel from the same thing that you get from like a Rolex Explorer, especially since the case is so similar, but it has a very unique dial. I really like the style of this watch and sort of what they're going for. This watch comes in just under $400. I think it's like $399. I think that's a really good price, or at $400 exactly. Really nice construction, very well made. Miyota 9039, of course. You have all the specs that you normally get with micro brand, screwed-in crown, 200 meters water resistance, which is really nice. Really good price, and a really good-looking watch at a very nice size, 38.5 millimeters, so it cuts the difference between a 39 and a 38, and it wears like that. I really like this watch, and I found it very, very nice. But tell me what you guys think in the comments below. I really want to hear from you guys. I found this very pleasing. I think it's a really good-looking watch. I really am getting into field watches more and more recently, and I really like this one. But tell me what you think in the comments below. Please also don't forget to like and subscribe, hit that bell icon. It's super helpful for the channel, and I very much appreciate it. Please follow me on Instagram. My Instagram is WatchChrisBlog. I have some links in the description. Those links are to Amazon. If you click those links and buy anything, it helps support the channel. It doesn't cost you anything extra. However, I very much appreciate it. Anyway, thank you for logging on. I'll catch you guys in the next video.